educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and open up that Zoom waiting room. Well, the waiting room's already open, folks. So if you've been sitting there, welcome to Daily with Doc. This is, yes, a live Zoom. So we are excited to have you join us. And if you're watching a replay or out on the live stream on any of the platforms and you would like to join us, you are invited to. Just go to dailywithDocZoom.com. And that will bring you right into our Zoom meeting. And this is most Tuesdays, well, half of the Tuesdays of the month, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. So that is when we are hosting the Daily with Doc. We want to also do a shout out and hello to our radio audience, as this is where Dr. Wallach started in broadcasting, was radio. And I love the fact that he is continuing to be heard on the radio airwaves throughout the world. And we are looking to expand. So if you are connected with a radio station or any type of podcast and you would like to include Dr. Wallach's message in your message, make sure that you reach out to us. Go to info@dailywithdoc.com. That is info@dailywithdoc.com. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of Daily with Doc and Becca, it is my honor and privilege to be able to create this resource and provide this resource to an amazing community. Now, our community consists of many people who have found the benefits and want to share the message that Dr. Wallach started so many years ago with others because it has helped them as well. You are welcome to join us on this crusade to save humanity through nutrition. And we just want to make sure that, hey, if you have any desire to help people and you don't mind a thank you check for doing so, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, then go to dailywithdoc.com, use that contact option, or give our call team a call at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. Now, folks, the doctor that we have on with us on Wednesdays and Thursdays, he is one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics. Now, epigenetics has proven the theory of disease transmission, saying that it's genetic to be incorrect. Incorrect, because if something was genetic, then you wouldn't find a human disease in Ricci monkeys, like Dr. Wallach found. And when he did find that, present it and let them know after presenting the slides to some professionals. Dr. Wallach is holding up his book, Epigenetics, but after sending some slides, not saying what the individual was, not being human, to some experts, and they came back, yes, it's a classic case of cystic fibrosis. He then announced that this is a Ricci monkey. And through his research and biopsies of checking the different monkeys in the community that were not even related, who still had cystic fibrosis, what was the common factor? What they ate. You change the diet, the body itself can change as well. And he was actually fired for, going against the narrative of, something was a human disease when in fact it is not. And that was just one of the many things that Dr. Wallach has done in his short lifetime of 80, almost 5 years, in helping humanity get the truth. So after 3 postdoctorates in pathology, working his way through college and post-college as a doctor of veterinary medicine, he also studied plant and soil sciences, which gave him that extra little look into what plants need. And through all of his autopsies that he did, which were pushing 30,000 now, which includes over 3,000 humans, he discovered that humans need more than a plant. So just eating plants is not going to be enough if they're only being given the 3 keys, phosphorus, potassium, and NPK, potassium, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. Is that right, Doc?
Yes.
I got it right. Yes. That's not enough for humans. And plants can't make minerals. It has to be in the soil. So if it's not in the soil, it's not in the plants, and then it doesn't get into the human body, and the body starts to break down from nutritional deficiencies. Mineral, over 600 different poor health conditions he has linked to mineral deficiencies. Folks, when you got a deficiency, you replenish the deficiency, and the body's going to be able to respond better. Simple, plain and simple, common sense. So let's go on a little bit more into what Dr. Wallach is so
passionate.
That's a great word. So passionate about. And that is helping people and families start healthy families. And there's a question that has come up, Dr. Wallach. I'm going to bring you to the screen with me. But let's hit the right buttons here. There we go. There you are. So Doc, there's a question that has come up, and thank you so much for joining us, as we appreciate your time. More and more babies and young children are having food allergies. In fact, this one mama, she actually teaches nutrition for the Department of Defense. And she has a child who was born with some respiratory issues, had developed the fact that when introducing food, has food allergies, including nut allergies, which more and more kids are coming up with these nut allergies. Dr. Wallach, can you just give us a glimpse as to what's going on and what we can do as a solution, either preventative or otherwise?
Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, it's a great subject. Being the father of 4 kids myself, you want to love them and protect them even before they're conceived, okay? And so this is very, very important stuff. And so thank you for bringing that up. And thank you for telling the story of the rhesus monkeys at the Yerkes Primate Center. When I found the first non-human case, and I sent it to these big medical schools, and they sent me back. I didn't tell them it was from monkeys. I just told them it was, I believe it was cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And on their letterhead, they said, these are classic examples of cystic fibrosis, terrible genetic birth defect in babies and humans, blah, 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 blah. And then I sent a note back saying, well, these are actually from monkeys, and they fired me. They fired me from Yerkes Primate Center because they didn't want me to publish that on their letterhead that I had found the cause, prevention, and cure for cystic fibrosis. Then I also found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy, Jerry's kids. Some people are old enough to remember Jerry's kids. Every year they'd have a telethon and they'd raise money to, and he, over, I don't know, 46 years, he raised something like, oops, sorry.
Yeah, was it 2 point something million, or was that billion?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, at any rate, the oh, it went from the rhesus monkeys. Okay, again they fired me, and I was working with muscular dystrophy, and he raised $2.4 billion. Okay, with his telethon, and I gave him the information that we had found the cause, prevention, and the C word, okay, for muscular dystrophy. He was so excited. He says, well, how do I know? It's just you saying that. So we took him on a journey to about a dozen different families who had had kids with muscular dystrophy, and we had given them our treatment by giving them nutrients. We were giving calves that had white muscle disease, which was just a simple muscular dystrophy, okay? And we were giving them these nutrients, and we were getting rid of, we'll use the R word, we were reversing, okay, the disease of muscular dystrophy. And so I decided we're going to start giving these human kids with muscular dystrophy, we're going to give them these nutrients. And we did, and we reversed muscular dystrophy in them. So we took Jerry to these 12 different families all over the place, all over the country. And we had the doctors who had been treating these kids for many years, and then finally said, no, they don't have it anymore. And they talked with Jerry. Jerry was so excited. And this was about 2011. And he, excuse me, I said, okay, Jerry, you need to be the one to make the announcements. I don't want to make the announcement. This is your baby. Okay, but I'll back you up and everything. So he goes to the 2011 meeting, okay, of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And he told them that we had found the cause, prevention, and reversibility of muscular dystrophy. They just right there, they just terminated Jerry Lewis, put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything to anybody and tell them we had found the cause, prevention, and reversal for muscular dystrophy. And then on the next day, on Sunday, they shut down the telethon, which had raised $2.6 billion for them over 46 years. And now you don't hear much about the Muscular Dystrophy Association anymore because we don't need them anymore. They're just a bunch of egotistical maniacs. Instead of thinking about the kids, they were thinking about their cells, okay? And then, of course, the next one we got rid of, we got the R word and their reversibility, was sudden death syndrome, SID, sudden death syndrome. The medical doctors knew that babies were dying of SID, sudden death syndrome, because mothers were laying on their babies and suffocating them. And so this is when Jonathan Emord, he and I, sued the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, 8 times in federal court, one by one, to get these nutrients put into baby formulas. Doctors said they're poisonous. These minerals are poisonous. You can't put it in baby formulas. You can't give it in prenatal vitamins. They're poisonous. And from the animal industry, we knew that they were absolutely essential. So we did all we could in the courts. And sure enough, we ended sudden death syndrome. We ended it. You don't hear much about it anymore. Mothers aren't laying on the babies anymore because we got those 8 nutrients put into baby formulas and prenatal vitamins. Okay, so cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, sudden death syndrome. So people can't say we don't, have any experience at this. We have a lot of experience at this. And we're learning so many things about what we can do for kids before they're conceived. Now, you heard what I said there. We can do so many things for kids before they are conceived.
Yes.
Okay, mother and father have to stay away from the bad stuff. Okay, They have to do all the good stuff. And it is more difficult now because prior to 1882, everybody was using wood stoves and coal stoves and furnaces and fire pits and so forth and so on. And we're putting the ashes, okay? We're putting the ashes from the stoves and all the places you had fires in the house, okay? You'd put the ashes into the food as a spice. You'd also put it in the garden as a fertilizer. And then by 1900, everybody was using electricity. Nobody was using wood and coal anymore to cook with. And guess what? Suddenly now birth defects skyrocketed. Not only did birth defects skyrocketed, but diseases in young adults and adults skyrocketed. Okay. And they, of course, were getting all these different prescriptions to treat the symptoms. They weren't preventing or curing the diseases, but they're treating the symptoms of all these diseases that people were getting. And of course, they had to have health insurance because everything was so expensive. And so when you look at medical doctors today in industrialized nations, including the United States, when it comes to doing the best we can for kids before they're conceived, they have failed us. They have failed us. They're not even taking wood ashes from fireplaces and putting into the food in the gardens anymore. But the medical system has failed us when it comes to this. Now, the embryos, if the mother's been eating things that cause problems, like fried foods and peanuts, alcohol, all kinds of foods grown on poor soils, well, carrots are good for you. Well, carrots only need 3 minerals. We need 60. So if you're depending on carrots to give you your 60 minerals, you've lost before you put the carrot in your mouth. Okay. And so this is why we have to say, okay, we have to do something different here. And this is why we're so excited about this new book coming out, okay, the metabolic syndrome, because doctors, again, have taken this simple nutritional cluster, it's a nutritional cluster, and finding, let's see here, abdominal obesity, diabetes, hypertension, many other diseases, up to like 25, 30 different diseases you can get when you have the problem, okay? And this is all caused by what the mother ate and what she didn't eat. If she took supplements, she didn't take supplements. What did she take? Did she just take vitamins, not minerals? It all has the effect on the embryo. And so this is what's going on here. So we came up with a book, The Metabolic Syndrome, and we went step by step by step by step to show people, and we're bypassing the doctors, because we've been working with the doctors now for 75 years, and they have failed us again and again and again and again and again, because they have the false belief, if you just eat well, you'll get everything you need. Now, back in the 1800s, and let's go back to the year 2000. Let's go back to the year 1. Okay. People were putting wood ashes in their food. They're putting wood ashes in their drinking water. They're putting wood ashes in their gardens and so forth. And they were getting these things, and more babies were being born healthy back then because they were getting the minerals. We're talking 2,000 years ago. We're talking 3,000 years ago. Okay. But once we had electricity, suddenly now they didn't make up the difference. They didn't say, well, we don't have the wood ashes, the coal ashes anymore. Just keep eating well and you'll do fine. And that was the biggest lie ever perpetuated against humanity. So this is why we have longevity. This is why right now the books, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, I believe it was, sold more copies than any other CD out there. It's over, I don't know,
400 million, over 400 million.
over 400 million. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the most recent, and that one's 350 million.
Yeah.
And this has been almost 8-9 years since the revision. So
yeah. And so
and
it's
it's
been
still
declared the most listen to lecture in the history of the world. I wouldn't
And
say
if I could
second only,
add,
second only to the Bible.
yeah, Doc, let me add to that. It's also the most pirated health lecture in the world
Mm.
because people have used and companies have used your lecture to promote their use of minerals, which your minerals are different than the ones that you came up with, are different than what's being used anywhere else on the market.
Okay, well, yeah, and here's why. This is very, very significant. You brought up a good point here. One of the things I grew up with, going to church every Sunday, one of the things I grew up with was, some people lived a long time and some people died young. And so the question was always, and they would ask, during the Q&A after the services and everything, what was it? Why did some people live to be 200? Why did some people live to be 500? Why did some people live to be 1,000 years of age? That's because they were getting something that everybody else wasn't getting. They lived in a land flowing with milk and honey. Of course, the first thing that came into people's mind was cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk, camel's milk. So everybody's running around drinking milk because they wanted to come from the land flowing with milk and honey. But that was not true. Okay. It was actually glacial milk. You could be a mile away from the mountains and you see these white streams coming down the side of the mountains because they're filled with rock dust. Okay, where the mountains were grinding up these minerals. Okay, from the what the
Glaciers.
volcanoes, yeah, the volcanoes and the glaciers, grinding up all the minerals, and this fine dust was white and got into the water streams coming down the side of the mountains, and it looked like milk. And that's where the thing came from. People who lived the longest came from the land flowing with milk and honey. It was glacial milk it was flowing with. Now, the honey, what's about that? Well, with all the minerals that were coming down in the glacial milk, there were more flowers, and more flowers mean more bees, more honey. And so that's where the land flowing with milk and honey came from. It was the glaciers. And I'm in the process of, now we're finishing up this book. I'm in the process of digging up all the material and all the mountains from the biblical days and pre-biblical days, and where they have the most glaciers, okay, where they have the most glacial milk coming down the side of the mountains. And I was showing you some pictures the other day of these streams coming down the sides of the mountains into the lakes and into the rivers, and they're white, just like milk. And they're going through the forest. You see this white milk stream coming down, or they're going through the side of the hill that has the sharp plants. You see this white stream coming down, and you can see where, without all the science we have now, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, you can see why they thought it was milk, because it looks like milk. They didn't have the science to test it and see what was in there 3,000 years ago. So it all makes sense now. And I'm very, very proud and happy for our team for making sure that everybody's getting this information, because we are going to save these kids now. We're going to get to some specifics here. And kids are born with allergies. They're allergic to nuts, and they're allergic to fruit, and they're allergic to fish, and they're allergic to poultry, and they're allergic to this and that, and grains. What's going on here? Well, that's because the land no longer has these nutrients in there, because we've dammed up these rivers. Okay, we've dammed up these rivers, okay, to make electricity, and people aren't getting the downstream minerals anymore. And so this is what's happening. You have to proactively take the 90 essential nutrients, be especially aggressive about minerals. I mean, I have thousands of witnesses. I take minerals 3 times a day. I take well over 100 different minerals. We only really need 60 specific ones. Well, I take those 60 plus 40 others just in case. So I'm taking 95 to 100 minerals every day, 2-3 times a day.
Those minerals, or are those minerals and vitamins, Doc?
Well, there's vitamins added to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and there's vitamins added to it, but if you just take the vitamins and no minerals, you're in deep trouble. You have to have both. And so this is what makes us different. This is what makes us different. And of course, every time I used to say the C word, I mean, I would get people from newspapers and, editors and all kinds of people telling me what a crud head I was, saying that these things are genetic and so forth. That they're not genetic, that they're nutritional mineral deficiencies and everything. And I could see them. I could reverse them. I could do the R word. I could reverse them. I can't use the C word because then everybody from all the media jumps all over me and says I'm a crook and all this kind of stuff because I'm.
No, that's not it, Doc. It's because of censorship. And the censorship that Big Pharma has put on people who are trying to speak the truth, Dr. Wallach. So, meathead or not, be the biggest meathead and wear it proud, okay?
Okay, yeah. So we're very proud. We're just going to kind of change the English a little bit here, but it's the same thing. You've got to get those minerals. You got to get all 90 essential nutrients according to body weight. I would say for at least 3 months before conception, at least 3 months before conception, then all through conception. And if you're going to breastfeed that baby, you better be giving it to the mother who's making the breast milk and so on. And if you're going to give it milk, it doesn't hurt to give the supplements. We have Kids Toddy. The Kids Toddy, okay, it's a liquid and it tastes great and little kids love it. And you're giving them these minerals. Okay, Kids Toddy is a great thing. And so we've tried to touch all bases, cover all bases, because we don't want the mothers eating the bad things so that they are transmitting nutrients that don't have everything the baby needs, okay? But they are giving them bad things and causing them to have allergies and things that will cause them to die early because they can't absorb, like gluten problems and wheat, barley, rye, oats, and buckwheat and all those kind of things. Got to go. No fried foods. Got to go. And one of the big discoveries I made when it comes to nuts was the bears and all the zoos around the world. All the bears around the world in zoos, every species of bears was dying of liver cancer. And I checked with these zoos that had written articles about this in the International Zoo Yearbook. And they said, no, it's all different species. All over the world, the zoos, the bears are getting liver cancer. Now, are there any other animals in the zoos getting liver cancer? No, it's just the bears. Well, that told me everything right there. So it's something the bears are eating. So at that same point, Marlon Perkins, the old Mutual Mahawal Kingdom show, he was just coming back from a big program, around the world. And he said, Wallach, I know you're going to be doing this big program with NIH, a $12 million program. Congratulations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, that was my first big project, $12 million, 10 years. He said, before you start on that, I want you to find out why all these bears are dying of liver cancer. Well, it only took me 3 days. That's because they were eating peanuts. All the zoos around the world were selling peanuts at the front door so people could throw the peanuts to the bears. They were getting money to pay the bills in the zoo, and the bears were happy. They'd stand on their hind legs and wave their front legs, and the people would throw the peanuts at them. Well, it turns out the peanuts grow in soil. They're the only nuts that grow in soil. And they get contaminated with a fungus, okay? And this fungus is called Aspergillus flavus. And the peanuts would get contaminated with them. Now, this Aspergillus flavus produces a toxin called aflatoxin, which produces liver cancer. So we got all the bears off of the peanuts. We got them on just crumbled dog food that didn't have any gluten in it, or peanuts in it. And people were happy. They're just throwing the crumbles of the dog food at the bears. Bears are happy. But within a month, there were no new cases of liver cancer in the bears around the world anymore. You don't hear about liver cancer in the bears anymore because we were able to eliminate it by getting the peanuts out of their life. Now, why do beer drinkers get liver cancer? Is it the alcohol? in the beer. That's what everybody says. It's the alcohol in the beer. They're getting liver cancer. No, it's the peanuts that the bartender gives them to come to the bar. They give them free peanuts, so they'll come and buy the beer at the bar. Well, those free peanuts have the aflatoxin in there and create the liver cancer.
So I have a question
Yeah.
about that, because beer is made from wheat, barley, rye. Does that affect, and I know in your bad foods, that's the first thing, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats and buckwheat. So does that part of the beer affect the individual as well?
Well, yeah. See, when you're putting that as the source of the beer, you're getting problems with the lining of the intestines, so they cannot absorb nutrition. Now,
So,
here's the
and that's because of the gluten, it transfers into the alcohol?
no, just they don't have any nutrition in the beer.
Okay.
You're feeding them, and they get sick and they die early and all that kind of stuff. Now, here's the secret: Chinese beer is made from rice. No gluten in rice.
Right.
That's why the Chinese live 8 to 10 years longer than we do. It's not a
Okay.
genetic thing. It's what they eat, what they drink.
Not that I'm going to promote the the consumption of alcohol on our show, folks, but Dr. Wallach just shared something that could be very beneficial in helping you as well when it comes to your own health. Now, Dr. Wallach, we do have a question in regards to babies. And the question is, what about C-sections and those that are not breastfed? How does that impact the baby's digestive system and future opportunity for allergies?
Okay, well, C-sections, cesarean sections in of themselves don't cause any problems. Okay. But breastfed, if the mother's not getting everything she needs, she cannot make minerals. Okay. There's certain vitamins she can't make. And so if she's not getting everything she needs to pass on these nutrients into her breast milk and pass on to the babies. And this is where my great attorney and I, we sued the FDA 8 times in federal court so we could put these nutrients, including the minerals, into baby formulas and into prenatal vitamins and minerals and into vitamins and minerals for women who are breastfeeding. We had to fight in federal court. I had to sell my farm. My mom sold her farm, get the money to do those 8 lawsuits in federal court to get all these nutrients in there. And so you don't hear about sudden death syndrome anymore. You don't hear about muscular dystrophy anymore. You don't hear about cystic fibrosis anymore, because we went to a lot of trouble and pain and misery and expense to get this nutrition and information out there so we could save as many babies as we could. And so we're very proud of this. We're very proud of this. And of course, this is why we wrote so many books, and this new one coming out is going, you had a big part in this new book. You were a major factor in this. And so I know you were finishing up the cover today, and it's on its way to the printers today, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And it's gonna be about what, 60, close 58, 60 pages, something like that?
Something like that.
Okay.
I
And
forgot
it's
to
all in your
check.
head. It's all in your head is 30 pages. So the outside measurements are going to be about the same, but the thickness of the book is going to be double the thickness in okay, in the metabolic syndrome, because it's got 60 pages instead of 30 pages. And just think of all the diseases those 2 books are going to be able to prevent and reverse. It just blows my mind. We're just so excited about this new one coming out, the metabolic syndrome. And again, it goes back to 1945 when a group of doctors deemed that the metabolic syndrome was a genetic cluster. Okay, it was a genetic thing, and there's nothing they could do but treat the symptoms. They just got worse and worse and worse and more frequent and so forth. It was really just the fact that the mothers, were not getting all the nutrients they needed. They were getting fed wheat, barley, rye, and oats and fried foods and all this kind of stuff. And they weren't getting all the nutrients. And so that's why we had to sue the FDA in federal court so we could put those nutrients into baby formulas, into lactation supplements for women who are breastfeed their babies, and women who are sexually active and wanted to have babies, but they wanted to have healthy babies and they're taking lots of vitamins and minerals. But if they're not taking the right ones, they weren't getting. We were taking vitamins and minerals. How come we had birth defects? Well, because you weren't absorbing them because you're eating wheat, you're eating oatmeal for breakfast.
Right. Well, Dr. Wallach, I just want to circle back a little bit on something in regard to the C-section, because I know that there's beneficial bacteria that as the baby goes through the birth canal helps in building an immune system. So when you have a C-section, you completely bypass that step in building their immune system. So there would be some benefit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see, and I understand that there are cases where C-sections are unavoidable. But if you were to choose C-section or natural birth for the health of the baby, unless, you know, you had those circumstances that required C-section, wouldn't natural birth be a better option?
Well, natural birth, obviously, the way the good Lord, you know, made us, and that's the way we're supposed to be. But if for some reason that's not a good idea for a particular family or so forth, the mother can, you know, lay the baby on her naked belly, and the baby, you know, who's going to breastfeed is going to lick on her belly and lick her breasts and her nipples and all that kind of stuff and pick up certain bacteria. Okay. And so they can, you know, take those extra steps if they, you know, didn't have a vaginal birth and so forth. And so it's one of those things where you just have to know what steps to take to make up the difference.
Right.
It's not like it's impossible. We've been having, you know, babies born from cesarean section and no problems. Well, they were laying on their mother's stomach and breastfeeding and all this other stuff. And so they're getting their bacteria other ways.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach, because I know that there are some doctors that offer the option in the whole pregnancy plan and offering them the option to do C-section. And it just seems.
Why do you think they do
that? Well, I had a short video shared with me this morning going over kind of a skit. And one of I think it was the anesthesiologist asked, well, you can have anesthesia, but it's going to cost. And then, you know, I've got a kid in college, which is funny because that reminded us of you, Dr. Wallach. Yeah, the cost of medical care is just extraordinary. And it doesn't have to be, folks. You take care of the vessel and the vessel will make life easier on you.
Yeah. We learned this on the farm. We learned this on the farm, and all the animals were having births on the farm. Okay. And it is one of those things where when there was shortages of nutrients in the soil, you had to come up with all these salt blocks with the trace minerals in there and a grain with the vitamins, minerals added to it, alfalfa pellets with vitamins, minerals added to it. And that made up the difference. We don't have health insurance for animals, except for maybe racehorses. We don't have health insurance for them. And so the farmer couldn't afford to pay all this money for C-sections and this treatment and that treatment, arthritis and that kind of stuff, and coming out to deliver babies and so forth. And so basically, we learned to put all these nutrients into the alfalfa pellets and then feed those alfalfa pellets that had all the nutrients in it to the cows and the goats and the sheep and the horses and so forth, and the chickens and the ducks and the geese and so on, and the rabbits and all the animals in the laboratories, and it solved the problem. It doesn't have to come from one place. You just need the bugs. And if you can't get them from one place, you get the bugs from another place.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, for that introduction into what we can do to support healthy pregnancies, healthy babies, healthy mamas and daddies, and continue it on. And as we start young, that just creates a whole waterfall of better health. Instead of things going on decline, let's put it on a better trajectory, going up when it comes to obtaining better health for everybody. And out on YouTube, we've got ZZ Capped saying, "Hi, Becca, CHN Doc is so cool." And Rod had mentioned Doc should be paid for the pathway he has set for others, yet he did this for the love of people and health. And somebody says, definitely very selfless, Coach Rod. So, and ZZ Cap, amen to that as well. Dr. Wallach, there's so many people that are just really realizing the importance of this message. And we hope for those that are watching and listening now that you realize it as well and share it with somebody that you know and love. And again, if somebody shared this message with you, get back with them. Let them know what you liked best about the program or any questions that you may have in regards to getting on board with a better nutritional program. Now, Dr. Wallach, he was the founder of a company called Longevity. He has since been able to remove himself and supports himself and his family on the sale of his books. And he did that so that he could promote the message without anybody being able to say, well, you only do this because you make a buck from the sale of the products, which he does not. So I just want to make sure that that is clear. And also this program is meant to for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are the products mentioned meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any diseases. But folks, we've got the doctor that is a co-founder of the science of epigenetics that proves the importance of nutrition and proves the genetic theory of disease transmission to be incorrect. And when you've got those credentials, and he's been nominated twice for a Nobel Peace Prize, which he should have gotten both times. He also received the Klaus Schwartz Award for his study and research in the importance of selenium. And he has also received
Lifetime achievement from the United Nations.
Lifetime achievement. I was getting to it. Lifetime achievement on natural medicine and philanthropy from the third annual Global Officials of Dignity Awards that was held at the United Nations headquarters in New York. So you have a little bit of clout, a little bit of solid foundation, Dr. Wallach, as to what you have done, what you have been able to accomplish, that then gives you credibility. And we just thank you so much for continuing this mission. Let's get to some hands, and I apologize for those who have been patiently waiting. First, let's go to Jill. Jill, what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach today? Go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Okay, I just took my headphones off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Dr. Wallach? Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm sorry, I'm at the market. I have a customer who is on the 90. He also takes a lot of other products, but he has recently been diagnosed with lymphedema of his right leg, and he's had a problem with it for a while. He had surgery for prostate cancer, and the leg swelling started after that. He also had 9 lymph nodes removed when he had the surgery for the prostate cancer. And so the pain's been getting gradually worse in the leg. It's completely swollen. He has foot pain in the sole of the foot, the ankle, the calf, and it gets worse when he walks, tingles, burns, makes his leg restless. What can we do?
Okay, do we know how much he weighs?
Yes, he weighs 215 pounds. He's 69 and he's 5'9".
Okay. Does he have any other issues like arthritis or osteoporosis?
He has everything. He has
I'm sorry?
arthritis. He has everything.
Okay.
He has
All
a lot of, he has arthritis. He has thyroid problems. He has cysts in his kidney and his pancreas. He's supposedly pre-diabetic. And he has some digestive issues. I believe he told me before he has IBS, but he does take I-26. He takes nightly essence and he takes ultimate enzymes.
Okay, well, here we go. He's to get rid of all the bad foods, and I'm sure he's doing a lot of this, but this is for the rest of our listeners also, right? So he needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, iron, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. He wants energy. We have the Rebound. You drink the the version without the carbon in it, okay, without the carbonation in it. I drink some of that like maybe once a day, and it really gives you the energy. We invented that for professional basketball players. Then he needs to again get rid of all the bad stuff. Then I want him to have it at 215 pounds. He needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose everything twice a day. Okay, full dosing at breakfast, full dosing at dinner time. And I also want him to have our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And that's going to support his kidney functions and support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in his brain and his heart and his liver and lungs and bones and everything, right?
Yes.
I'm hearing a lot of conversation in the background. And then also he needs to support his immune system. And so he needs to make sure he's taking 3 of our selenium 3 times a day. He'll be getting enough in the 2 healthy brain and heart packs, I think, to take 3 twice a day, but he needs to get another bottle so he can take 3 times a day of our selenium. I only weigh 142 and I do that. Okay. And then let's see here. Also, because he has pre-diabetes, I want him to have our sweeties. You go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And if he's on any medication for diabetes, don't cold turkey off of it. But as the blood sugar begins to come down, he can slowly reduce his medication. If he's not on medication, this will be a very quick issue. I take 3 sweeties twice a day. He also needs Ocean's Gold for his thyroid. Ocean's Gold, I want him to have 2 or 3 of those twice a day. They're small bottles, so he needs to take 2 of those bottles, okay, a month for the Ocean's Gold for his thyroid. And then, have him call us every couple of weeks and give us some feedback. Anytime he goes to the doctor and gets another status report, give us a call back. If he never goes outside, he needs to get our vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day, or vitamin D3. And let's see here.
So Dr. Ocean's Gold and the sweet and the selenium also will support him because he previously had prostate cancer. So they'd both be a good thing to go
That's
after
correct.
that.
Because it supports the immune system. That is correct. Very good.
Okay.
You get an A+.
Okay. Yeah. So he wasn't taking the Ultimate Daily Classic. So I definitely will get him to add that and increase his selenium. So
Okay.
awesome. Thank you
Okay,
so much, Doc.
Yeah, keep us informed.
Will do.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Yeah, God bless. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jill. And for those that are listening, it is not just any selenium. It is actually the ultimate selenium that has the cofactors that help in supporting the body as well in using that selenium to its greatest potential. So I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you so much, Jill, for joining us today with that great question. Next, let's go to Lorena. Lorena, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
what question do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Hi.
Oh, wait, sorry. Go ahead and unmute yourself again, please.
Okay. Can you hear me
Yes.
now? Okay,
Yes.
sorry. I have actually 2 questions,
I
but
only
just
see her right eye.
oh. You can see me?
That's better. That's better.
Okay. So I have 2 questions. If you can answer them, that'd be great. My mother-in-law and I, both of us, are going to try to start on a nutrition with longevity. My mother-in-law is 74 years old and she weighs 194 pounds. And she was recently diagnosed with hyperparathyroid. And the doctor actually told her or suggested to do a surgery. So we were looking for, a surgeon for that. But my mom and my dad, they actually have been taking your products for like 7 years, I think. And they're recommending to start on that. So I wanted to see if you could give us maybe what kind of treatment she can start for that. She also has high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and she suffers from migraines. So those are the three main things. But the most main thing that right now is very concerning is her hyperparathyroid.
Okay. So she has arthritis and osteoporosis.
They haven't said, the doctor hasn't diagnosed her with arthritis.
So
or
what is
osteo-
what are the hyperthyroids doing to her?
The calcium, her calcium levels are very high.
Okay.
And last year she had to go, she was actually in the hospital because of how high they were, but the medicine that they gave her did lower them, but they told us that she couldn't stay on those medicines because they were too, I guess, too strong.
Okay, here we go. 194 pounds, and probably she's doing a lot of this, but for our other listeners also, none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, iron, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. She wants energy. That's what the rebound is for. Okay. Then at 194 pounds, I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose of everything twice a day. Then I also want her to have our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day, be 2 bottles a month. That's going to help in many, many ways, including blood flow through blocked arteries, and also in blood pressure and that kind of stuff. Okay. Then, yeah, you'll see miraculous things happening. Don't cold turkey off the blood pressure medication, but as the blood pressure begins to drop, she can slowly reduce, if she's on prescription medication for high blood pressure, she can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. So it might take her a month or 2 to wean off of the medication, but don't, when she gets down to where she's in the normal range for blood pressure, don't quit the program, okay? Because she'll need the Ultimate Daily Classic forever. I take 3 of those twice a day, and I weigh 142. Okay. Then let's see here, for pain in her joints or anything like that, she can use our CM cream topically. I have a physical injury in my left shoulder. I use a CM cream 2-3 times a day on that shoulder, and I have a great day. If I didn't put the CM cream on there, I'd run into a little pain and clicky noise and stuff like that.
Do the migraines that she has, are those related to the hyperparathyroid issue?
It's possible. Okay, because if she has hyperparathyroid, her body's telling her that it wants more calcium, and so the parathyroid is working trying to get more calcium. Okay, so this is why she needs these programs. And I have an ounce of the Caltati, an ounce of Caltati for breakfast and dinner. I do that twice a day, additionally. Okay.
Okay.
So that wouldn't hurt to throw that in there. It wouldn't hurt also to throw in the, let's see here. Let's see here. Rebecca?
Yes, Doc.
Oh, what's the one that has 15 herbs in it and 75 minerals?
Rainforest.
Herbal Rainforest, that's the one. And I have an ounce of that twice a day. Herbal Rainforest. So she needs to have that too, Herbal Rainforest. That does miracles. Has 15 herbs and 75 minerals in it. It tastes great. Okay. Okay, did you have another question? Or is that it?
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for that. And the next question is for me. I'm how old am I? I'm 41 and I weigh 164 pounds. I was diagnosed with IgA nephropathy back in probably
I
like
apologize. I missed the first part of that. What kind of neuropathy?
IgA nephropathy. IgA nephropathy. Like it's a kidney related issue where I don't know how to explain it, but it's one of my kidneys are not functioning properly. It's called IgA nephropathy.
Okay.
And they put me on really harsh medication, but I stopped taking it because it was making me very sick. So right now I just take blood pressure medication because of the kidney issue. It makes my blood pressure,
Are you taking any of the supplements?
I'm not. I wanted to start, but I wanted
No,
to
you
see.
have to start because you can't get it from your food anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, 500 years ago, you could get it from the food, but you can't get it from the food now. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you weigh 154 pounds, right?
164.
64. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get rid of all the bad foods, just like mom, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rice, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. And also, because you have the kidney issues, your kidneys will love the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. People don't realize it, but your kidney is what controls your blood pressure. Okay. Most people don't realize that. Okay. They think it's your heart controls your blood. No. Okay. So you need the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 twice a day. Don't cold turkey off your blood pressure medication if you're on blood pressure medication. But as the blood pressure begins to drop, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Don't cold turkey off of it. Okay.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to stay on these programs forever. How long do you need oxygen? Forever. How long do you need water? Forever. How long do you need the 90 essential nutrients? Forever. Okay. And so, back 1,000 years ago, people were getting minerals from the wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens and into their vegetables and into their food and cooking and so forth. But once we went to electricity, that source of minerals went away. And even then, there were areas that didn't have many. That's why there were the land flowing with milk and honey. There was the gardens, right? And the gardens that the good Lord put together for us, they had the minerals in there because the glaciers were grinding up the rocks and the rock dust coming down into those gardens and also into the farms. And once they went to electricity, they're damming up those rivers. There was no more minerals going into the farms, and that's why everything's falling apart. Got it?
Got it.
And if you have joint pain or anything like that, or pain anywhere, use a CM cream topically. You can. It comes in little jars. I don't know.
2-ounce container, 2-ounce tub of.
Yeah, 2-ounce container. Thank you. 2 ounces. I would have guessed 4 ounces, but it's only 2 ounces, huh?
That's 2 ounces.
2 ounces. Okay.
And they really, I had my what do you call it? The I had it removed. What's the name?
Gallbladder?
The gallbladder. There you go. I had my gallbladder removed. Do I need it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need it. It's necessary for life. You want to get the fat soluble vitamins absorbed and that sort of stuff. You want to get the essential fatty acids absorbed, and so if you want to get we have a
Ultimate enzymes.
Which enzymes?
Ultimate enzymes.
Ultimate enzymes. Okay, that has the bile in it, and take 3 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal. Take them before the meal, so they're sitting there waiting for everything to come down to them, and they can work that way.
Okay.
Ultimate enzymes.
All right. Thank you, Lorena.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
you're very welcome.
Thank you. Could be sure to contact us and let us know how it's going on, because you're going to have a great story.
All right. Next, let's go to Gloria. Gloria, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Dr.
Speak
Wallach.
louder. Get closer to the mic, though.
Okay, is this better?
That's better.
Okay, Dr. Wallach, thank God for you.
Oh, you're very gracious. Thank you.
You have been a blessing to me and my family for years. I thank God for you. But I have a question that someone asked me yesterday in reference to enlarged prostate and what is needed for that.
Okay, now I know that's not your problem because that's a boy, right?
It's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you know how much he weighs?
I don't have the weight. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. Does he have any other issues you know about? Any high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis?
No, sir. The only
Okay.
thing I'm aware of is the enlarged prostate.
Okay, large prostate. So let's go by 100 pounds of body weight. So he needs to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rice, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go.
Okay.
Then, per 100 pounds of body weight, he needs 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. Take a half dose twice a day if he weighs 120 pounds. If he weighs 145 pounds or more, he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Take a full dose at breakfast, full dose at dinner time. And then you also want him to take 2 twice a day of our Zera test. It's the stuff that the Sertoli cells in the testicles need to make hormones to make the prostate gland happy. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then also he needs the, let's see here. He needs the, so we talked about the ProstFX. He also needs, oh, the ProstFX. Yeah, ProstFX. Okay, take ProstFX, take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And it's their test, well, 2 of those tablets twice a day. I do. Okay, I'm going on 85. And most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me. Okay. And so it's one of those things you need the Zera test and also the ProstFX. And then, of course, the 90 essential nutrients and so on. If he has any pain in his joints, he needs a CM cream on that pain. He also wouldn't hurt to make sure he's getting some vitamin D3. If he has bone and joint problems, osteoporosis and arthritis, that kind of stuff. Arthrodex, okay, will work and help also if he has any bone problems, okay?
Okay, what about the glucogel?
Glucogel, yeah, you can throw in the glucogel. Go ahead and
Okay.
take, I take 3 of those twice a day. And he
Okay.
could take 3 of those twice a day. I only weigh 142. And glucogel, yeah, I'm the one that created glucogel.
Yes.
When people got tired of using bone broth and stinking up the house and causing fires and everything because they're cooking all night to simmer bones and get the bone broth, they've been doing that for thousands of years. And then I made the glucogel, and I take 3 of those twice a day. And, again, I'm 85 years old and I can handle myself. And I walk several miles a day. I take 3 walks of a mile each. So it's about 3 miles a day that I'm doing my exercise. And I can do kind of one-arm push-ups because I have this major injury. They wanted to amputate my legs and amputate my arms and all that kind of stuff. So I just left the hospital and did it myself.
All right. Thank you so much, Gloria. Great question. A final question, Dr. Wallach. We are at the top of the hour. Let's go to Keely. Keely, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay.
Good afternoon. How are you, Dr. Wallach? I have a situation. I have a 26-year-old woman who had a baby 8 months ago, and the baby was born with the ear that basically dropped down to the jaw. She is deaf in the one ear. They get response from her on the left ear. They basically say they want to do a cochlear implant, but they can't do that till she's about 4 years of age. And they wanted to know what you would recommend, given the fact that she's only 8 months old and she's about 14 pounds.
Okay. Now you have to appreciate the odds are this baby has osteoporosis of the skull. And what nerve gets squeezed when you have a loss of hearing? The 8th cranial nerve. Okay. It doesn't have to appear on both sides. There's one come out this side, one come out that side. And babies are born with osteoporosis of the skull. And so it's not unusual for babies to have all these things that happen in older people. And I don't know if they took a scan of the brain or anything like that. If they took a scan, I'd like to know what they saw in the scan of the skull. Was the skull a quarter of an inch thick? Was it an inch thick? Okay. And babies are born with osteoporosis of the skull and get all these problems. So
I will ask.
Okay. So this baby needs to have the, let's see here, I'd go
24 pounds. She's 24 pounds. I said 14.
That's fine. At any rate, the
Kids toddy.
yeah, the kid's toddy, that would be the way to go. Just follow the directions on the label for dosing. Kids toddy, it tastes good, and babies can have it before they're born. Okay, they can have it from the moment they're born. Is the mother going to breastfeed the baby?
Yeah, she's breastfeeding.
Okay, well, she needs to make sure she's getting the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay, she needs to get all those nutrients. How much does she weigh? Is she a big girl or small or?
No, she's 5'6" and 145 pounds.
And she's breastfeeding. Okay, yeah, I'd have her take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. Start her out with 1, and after a month go to 2. Okay, as the baby's getting bigger. And so yeah, she can't just take a prenatal vitamin with 3 vitamins and 6 minerals in there. That's not going to work. Okay. And give us
Okay.
a call if there's any questions or anything. And then people like to hear how that go, with Keely's lady with the baby and so forth. People like to hear what went on. Okay.
I will report back to you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much. God bless. Keep up the great work.
God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Keely. And Dr. Wallach, do you have time for one more quick question?
This has got to be the last one. Don't keep piling them
Okay.
on.
Oh, you pile work on me, Doc, so I'm going to pile it back. Okay, so I have Myron that's called in several times that I've had to dismiss, but they left a message wanting to know about hydradentitis suppurativa. What it is, it says it's a skin condition that causes painful lumps deep in your skin. These lumps usually develop on parts of the body where skin touches skin, like in the armpits, inner thighs, groin area. Dermatologists who specialize treat it. They have different treatments for this, Dr.
Okay.
Wallach, but what would cause lumps under the skin that are sensitive to touch, where the skin and the skin touch?
Okay, this has to do with nutritional deficiencies, of course. If you're putting pressure on, the body's going to respond by giving you calluses and that sort of stuff, and cysts and so forth, trying to fend off whatever's uncomfortable. So let's say she weighs 100 pounds. She needs 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month, a half a dose twice a day. If she weighs 145 pounds or more, she needs 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, a full dose twice a day. Then I want her to have the hair, skin, and nails. I want her to have hair, skin, and nails, 3 of those 3 times a day. Okay. I want her to have the glucogel. I want her to have 3 of those 3 times a day for the skin. She needs the collagen for the skin to make healthy skin. But don't forget the hair, skin, and nails. And for pain, we have the CM cream. She can apply that to the skin around her joints or under her armpits and around her groin and wherever, or her lower back, behind her ears, wherever she's getting the discomfort and the symptoms. Put the CM cream on there, and it'll relieve a lot of inflammation and relieve itching and pain and swelling and heat and so forth. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. We greatly appreciate you. And if I could get my team up on the screen with us, I greatly appreciate them as well. I could not do that or do what we do without them. And in our Zoom team that we have with us today, we have Marilyn, who is putting information into the chat, which is one of the greatest reasons to be on live with us, because you can't see her fine work unless you are here in the chat with us, where she is taking what Dr. Wallach is recommending for others, putting it into text so that you can take a screenshot or a picture of it and take it to your health coach. So folks,
what about Africa?
Even Africa. So on my screen right there, second line, first man with the black and white buddy behind him is in Africa, and nutrients are needed and available around the world. So thank you for pointing that out, Doc. But get with the person that shared this program with you. If there's no one to thank and you want to reach out to a health coach to make sure that you are getting what is needed based on Dr. Wallach's teachings, you want to get with a health coach. If you don't have one, 855-949-3377, and you will be connected with somebody on our team. Again, 855-949-3377. We also have with us today, we have Sherry, who is helping. She's part of our tech crew, make sure everything is streaming correctly. So thank you so much, Sherry, for all that you do. Again, we have Albert way down in Africa, and he is helping to let people in and watch cameras and make sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. So thank you, Albert. We have Ruth Allen, who is my executive production manager, helping us to all stay organized and make sure everything is flowing smoothly. Thank you, Ruth Allen. And we have AJ, who is instrumental in getting everything streaming on all the different platforms, whether it's a live stream or getting loaded after the fact. We just want to do a special shout out and thank you to AJ. And I saw we have Coach Rod on as well, who's helping with bringing in questions from the field and making sure that people are getting in as well. So, you know, that's just a very small portion of our team. We had some of our team bringing in questions also in the Zoom. So folks, if you want to be part of a solution, you want to get a hold of the person that shared this program with you, or join our team. We invite you. We have open arms for anyone who is interested in truly helping humanity with facts that have been proven over and over and over again. My name is Becca Dukes. It is an honor and privilege to be able to share with you this information that you yourself, as an empowered individual, can take action on and feel the results. This program is being sponsored by DailywithDoc.com. You can go to DailywithDoc.com if you have never purchased or ordered anything. We do have a store there. And most importantly, sign up for our email list, as we are sending out emails that give information about the replays, making it easy for you to share, and also announcements of future events coming up. And we have an email that is still on the horizon that is building, and I'm excited to get launched here very shortly. So thank you everybody once again for joining us here on Daily with Doc and Becca. You are worth the investment, the time, and whatever it takes to make sure your body is getting the 90 essential nutrients. Until next time, don't forget to join us tomorrow. Pharmacist Fridays. We've got an interesting show coming up with Pharmacist Ben for you as well. Bye for now. Educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. this program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.